Hey y'all, it's Ms. B, and we're gonna recap the Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 11. Let's be honest. We should be honest, cause Portia, honey baby child, you were my favorite. I'm not gonna skip ahead. The scenes open up with Charles and Angela. Charles is now. These are my confessions. Charles and confessionals now, baby. Yes, Charles and Angela wants us to know that Charles is a NBA retired player, which we already know. And Angela, how many times you gonna tell us that, girl? Like, we know. We know who Charles Oakley is. We know you, but now we done put two and two together, and it made four that y'all, y'all go together, y'all married, whatever. And it was a scene, they was out to eat. She was talking about her family or whatever. And then he was basically saying, like, you know what, it wasn't something because she wanted to talk about her sister. She wants to talk to her sister. They kept bleeping the sister's name out, which like gave me the prefaces of that. The sister didn't sign no NDAs, no clauses for her to be a part of this show. So anyway, Charles in the confessionals. And then in the confessionals, the production asks Charles, do you love Angela? Was it me? Or this nigga never answered the question. Question? Tell me what you think about me. I got my own. No, he never answered it. He never answered it. He was like, whatever. Charles is one of those type of menses, the older menses, that are like a whole a-hole. That's what Charles is giving. Angela like it, girl. That's you love it. And she was talking about the family drama, whatever. And I was thinking in my head, and I was like, in my head, I said, self, why does Angela's daughter live with the mama and the sister, and not with her and Charles? It like back to the fourth. Like, why did the daughter not tell Angela she was married? So it's a deep dive there. And Angela started trying to tell Charles, I ain't talk to my mom, I ain't talk to my sister, whatever. And Charles was like, you know what? She was like, how do you handle it? He was like, I cut everybody off. I have ran across a lot of men like Charles. Like, guess what? They don't get it. They don't want to get it. Whatever. You got to move on and cut them off. I appreciate Charles for his honesty. It don't matter if these cameras are around. It don't matter nothing. He gonna be him. That's probably why he got kicked out of Madison Square Garden, child. He gonna be him. And what else I wrote down? Charles is just Charles. And the fact that he didn't tell in the production that these are my confessions that he loved her, and the production was asking, that says a lot. That says a lot. And he cuts his family off. Whatever. Let's move on. Cynthia and Shamea. Cynthia is obviously brought in to be the voice of a reason. The voice of a reason to all of the calamity of things. So she meets Shamea to talk about her and Portia's relationship. Because last episode, which I didn't recap, but I watched it, Shamea was feeling away. Portia was feeling away. Portia, you are selfish as fuck. And I liked you for a real long time, girl. But you're selfish as fuck. And I'm going to get to that in the end. And she was like, I didn't sleep. I can't sleep at night. I have had a best friend that I was close with since we were in the 7th grade. Yes, we had our ebbs and we have our flows, but not one time did I cry or lose sleep over that best friend. Yes, you want to keep the nostalgia there. We love each other. We friends, my girlfriends, all of that. But their relationship is so lopsided. Like, somebody had to call it out. Like, they see it. Like, everybody see it. We see it, Portia. Portia, are you here? Can you hear me? I know you on the YouTube. Can you hear me? Y'all friendship been looking lopsided. And it seemed, you know what? I'm not going to get to that part yet. I'm going to get to their scene. And, Portia, Shamea said she didn't sleep. She feels like she's not supported by Porsha. Shamea brings up how they became friends through their mothers. And then even with that situation, I saw Porsha post on Instagram, "Don't come for my mama," and all of this, and she deleted it. I didn't know if it was from this episode, because they get the episode before we do, or it was from the Breakfast Club. But Shamea didn't say nothing bad about your mama. Even when production asked, how did y'all mamas fall out? She didn't say anything negative, Porsha. Porsha, you pissing me the fuck off. Like, I understand you was going through your shit with Sana Gubadia. You signed up for that. You the one who didn't vet this man. He was a whole goddamn scammer. And you gotta, now, I think this week they going through divorce court, and he gotta be escorted by ICE. That's your fault, Porsha. They baby Porsha too much. Miss Diane, Lauren, her sister, even Lauren, she had a sister named Lauren. Girl, you're not 16. You're 40, what, 3, 2? Bitch, we the same motherfucking age. Grow the fuck up, hoe. Sorry, I ain't mean to call that girl hoe, but I'm just triggered by how she was acting with Shamea. So then we have like this like triple scene where it's like Kelly and her waffles, Britt and her wet-ass husband, Shamea talking to her sisters about the situation with Porsha. Shamea, I'm glad you are starting to like get your leverage and get your things. But I was thinking while I was watching this, I'm like, on the Breakfast Club, you still went back to the same old Shamea, being a little lapdog. But Shamea, I'm glad you started getting your footing in this. Yes, we know you are a first-time peach holder, but we have been seeing you for years. Anyway, let's move on. Then we go to bowling. Well, Porsha, Angela, and Cynthia. I mean, you might as well call this the booty bowl. The booty bowl. We shaking booties and we bowling. Everybody know Porsha got a body, yada yada yada, and she got a nice. I was thinking in my head, I was like, that ain't no BBL. And then, like, even when I would go back for seasons prior, Porsha has always had a body with a big booty. And Porsha wants to know, pay attention to the buns and the balls. So they get to, talking about everything. Angela has a nice body, too. She look cute. She look real cute. I love the hair. I love the body. I love the outfit. But Angela, you are not 43. I want to see your birth certificate. I'm 42. Ain't no way for you to love me. And then Porsha lets them know that PJ is starting to be feeling affected of Simon's absence. She been saying he's at work. PJ says, he been going a long time. And then, she was like, where's Pow Pow? And then, you know what? Honestly, covering this Diddy craziness of it all, I would say, like, why was your baby calling this man Pow Pow? Yeah, it took me there. It took me there. Like, why was he calling her? Like, I have a child that I brought into a marriage, and not one time did my child call that man Pow Pow, Papa, Daddy. Like, no, it was another, like, they created their own layman terms of communicating with each other, but it was like, it's Pow Pow. And, and then Porsha lets us know again, she texts Simon, and he left her on red. Porsha! Are we okay? No, we're not okay. You're not okay. We're not okay. And this ain't all about Simon Gubadia. You know what you signed up for. If you didn't know nothing about this man, or you thought you was stealing him from Fallon, or whatever the situation may be or was, you should have done a better job of vetting him. That's why we ain't about to go into June and you still ain't got divorced, and this dude in ICE. Well, they said this week he is going to be escorted to divorce court by ICE. So you didn't read the streets? No, you just wanted to one-up Shamea. Oh, we're going to get to that. And then Portia was like, I'm so sad and I'm in anxiety and I'm just going through a lot. Effie, we all got pain. Shout out to Dream Girls. Effie, we all got pain. Portia, I'm so disappointed in you this season. I know. I ain't been gone for Housewives for so long. Girl, you haven't been gone that long. You know how this shit work. Next scene is Drew on FaceTime with her mama talking about Ralph. I want to say the whole time Drew has been a housewife, a peach holder, all it's been about Drew and Ralph. I am a member of Jessie Woo's YouTube channel. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. She breaks down all the tea about loans, about this and that, and the tie of it all. Baby, I'm not gonna give y'all all the tea. Go subscribe to I love Jessie Woo. Go subscribe to Jessie Woo's channel and explain why Ralph owns 40% of Drew's likeness and business. Go there and figure that. Go figure it out. So the next thing, we go to Angela and her mama. And Angela and mama come in and they're moving out of the house that Angela bought them. And Angela lets us know that all she wanted to do in her life was provide a house for her mama to live in and be comfortable. But her mama is apparently moving out the house. She let us know it's $490,000 house. Now, if you live in Atlanta, I'm assuming Atlanta is kind of like Houston. I live in Houston. If you go on the outskirts, a $490,000 house can get you a lot of land, a lot of acreage, get you a lot of house. And then Angela, brought up moments of the Charles of it all and how he felt and how she felt. Again, she wants to talk to the sister, which again, they bleep out the sister's name. Again, the sister must have not signed the contract. I don't want to be a part of this show. This is your show, not my show. And then again, I wanted to know, why was the daughter living there and not with you and Charles? Your dinner's ready. I want to know. And then I also want to know, again, Angela, how old are we? How old are you, girl? Are we still in the 90s where we still lie about our age? I am 42. 42. Proud of it. And then Angela mama threw shade at her and Tool. It said it was, me and Charles the same age. I was like, ooh, mama sassy. Mama sassy. And she's like, oh, mama, you're not the same. Oh, mama let us know that her and Charles the same age, but we already knew about Charles Oakley. Come on. We knew about it. Let's move on to Kelly and Chloe. They're driving. I have a Chloe, and the driving of it all was so familiar. It was so familiar. I was like, Kelly, I get it, girl. She said she ain't had no wine, no nothing. Them kids can't stay in the front lane, the back lane. I don't know what happened. I don't know. When I started driving, I just drove. I got in the car and I just drove. Even before I got my driver's license. I just drove. I just knew how to stay in the middle lane and drive. It wasn't, I had the rear here and there. But anyway, we have that with Kelly and her daughter Chloe, which I have a Chloe as well. And I get it. And they talk about a couple of things, but the fact was her Chloe can't drive and neither can mine. I love you, Chloe. Okay, let's move right along to Drew and her mama. Drew is talking about the Ralph of it all. Oh my God, I'm so tired of talking about Ralph. But the mama let us know, the babies know what's going on. The babies know. Kids are not stupid. Ralph could be in the basement. He could be in the attic. He could be on the roof. Them kids know that there is something going on. It was to the fact where the mama was like, I can't even control them no more. They don't even want to listen to me. And then when I saw the chef in the kitchen, this is a sidebar moment. Every time I see these chefs, these private chefs, why they ain't got no hairnet on? Why they cooking with all they bundles, all they whatever, they locks and stuff? I don't want that in my food. I'm real particular about my food. I don't want to eat my food and not find hair. That happened to me at a restaurant recently. I'm like, no, send all that back. And it's back, I want to say this. Go to Jessie Woo's channel. Subscribe to be a member and watch her and Kinga Reed's break down Drew's real tea. And I said, I had been away from Basketball Wives, but they intertwine. Ty and Ming Lee are on Basketball Wives. And then you have, Drew didn't want to get it unsealed. Now we know why. Go there. That's all I have to say about Drew and her mama. Let's get to Porsha and Shamea. And I want to say this. I used to be really close with a person who was like here. As far as like finances, status, everything. We never knew Shamea's status on this show. Because her husband didn't want to film. They talked about this today. We never knew Shamea was living in this mansion, this lovely lifestyle. And in this episode, she stood up to Porsha. And I feel like Porsha is okay with you being her friend as long as you stay here. I.e., a family member I used to be really close with. When you come up here, there's a problem. So let's get into the whole thing. First of all, Miss Diane FaceTime. Is that a coincidence? No. And she's like, and she just gave me a face. We already saw what your mama had said about Shamea. This is a lopsided friendship. It's been a lopsided friendship. And Shamea is crying, losing sleep at. I can't sleep at night. Nothing. And it's a very awkward scene where it seems like producers were forcing Porsha to have this scene with Shamea. Well, Shamea wants to voice out all her grievances, as she should. But Porsha is selfish. I'm starting to see that. Porsha, you're very selfish. I know you're a Cancer, but I ain't know that many Cancers to be that selfish. But you remind me of somebody. Long as you're here, we don't. The audience don't know it. Like she got the real life that you want, and you're here. Everything is good, but when it shifts, you have a problem. Again, back to a personal reference. They both break down the fourth wall. They both break down the fourth wall, like, the show and this and that. And Porsha was like, well, I gave you a list of people I felt like was great for the show, would bring the show on, whatever. We all know, even when Nene was on here, we all know that they give them, prosperic. Bet you know what I'm trying to say. A good handful of housewives that would match. We have no Kinga no more. And she's like, no, I felt like, you were a great housewife. No, Porsha. Long as she was your wingman. And this girl has been defending you you didn't go to her wedding. But you wanted to defend that by something else. But she was holding you up at your wedding to some Ngubadia, who you right now was a whole scammer in ICE. And then Shamea. Also, they showed how Shamea defends Porsha. When Drew said, I could buy PJ snacks. No. You can't see the forest for the trees, girl. I know you didn't know what the Underground Railroad was, but really, Porsha, your mama and your sister have enabled you to be a very selfish, unlikable person. And I was a fan. I'm a fan. Was a fan. And so I keep seeing this. And they talking, and Shamea is telling her from her heart, from her gut feeling, girl, I feel like this, and I feel like that, and I feel like that. And Porsha, you still weren't listening. It was a moment, I rewinded like 3 times. I'm like, what is Porsha doing under the table? No, Porsha was like fidgeting with bracelets and things, and then she started fixing the cutlery. Then she started crying and she had to leave again. The same scene she did with when she was with Dennis. Oh, I just can't take it. I have to leave. You're spoiled as fuck. And that's not helping you. It's hindering you, Porsha. And I was rooting for you. I liked you a lot. I've been rooting for you. Girl, I'm telling you, I be going to your Go Naked Hair website all the time. I told my mama today, I was like, girl, Porsha got some good hair on there. She was like, girl, where it came from? China? I was like, I don't know, but it looked like some good hair. And then that's kind of how the episode ends. But I'm glad that Shamea finally stood up to Porsha and told her how she felt. But Porsha, again, I'm going to repeat myself because I'm too familiar with this situation. As long as you here and she's here, she good. When it starts to align, she not okay. It's all kinds of problems. They even said the women, the new women, the newbies, figured out like, is they real friends? That whole crying scene you did at Angela Ogie house after you did tennis, girl, suck it up, Buttercup. You were playing in our faces. But that's the episode. That is my recap of Let's Be Honest. Thank you, Shamea. I like Shamea. Shamea, I like you. I like you a lot. I get along with Tauruses. Honestly, I do. I'm a Scorpio. I get along with Tauruses. And I appreciate your honesty. Stop bowing down to that. Girl, you got the house. You got the man. I know you want to have another baby. And you did make some little awkward comments or whatever. But I like you, Shamea. Porsha don't like that y'all on equal ground. She don't like this. She don't like this. No. She wants you to be here and still a friend of. But we see you, Shamea, girl. We like you, Shamea. I want to say this episode was a very, even people might say, oh, this is boring. I'm bored. Where's Phaedra? Phaedra? Okay, she's going to enter next episode. But it was a breakaway from Didi. The Didi of it all, baby. That Didi of it all. And them people in my comments, let me tell y'all one more everything. I'm cute on this channel. You don't know me in person. Keep playing in my comments. And you gonna poke the bell. That's no threat. That's no threat. I'm threatening nobody. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna read you down. Like you ain't never been read before. Anyway, anyway, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. And I feel like, honestly, as I'm going through my notes, Britt needs to be off the show. Y'all gave Kenya up for Britt. I ain't never even I wasn't seeing it for Kenya anyway, and I know what she did was so heinous, so vile. But her weird ass fucking husband, get the fuck out my TV. Y'all boring. She boring. Whatever. I don't care about you or your sister or your fake ass agency. Girl, you was over there laying low and sprayed wild with Rick Ross and probably everybody else in the goddamn industry. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. But keep it cute. Please keep it cute. And because the Scorpio and me will not be kind. Anyway, y'all, gotta go.